You are listening to a Pod Bros exclusive.
All right, boys and girls, we are live, brand new episode, Take Aim Outdoor Podcast. Excited to be back and to get another new show out, and excited for today's guest, Mark Clifford of Premier Outfitters in Kentucky. So, Mark, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Just enjoying our summertime and the prep that we're doing on the farms, and excited about the upcoming 2016 deer season.
That's what I'm excited about. I'm always excited about deer season, and I always look forward. I kind of have the variety podcast show, of guys that hunt and do everything. But my niche and my love is whitetails, so I'm super excited to chat with you today and talk about deer.
Well, it's that time of year for most people. For us, it's 12 months out of the year, but usually when mid-July rolls around, people start thinking about whitetail hunting. The new TV shows come on TV. The magazines are shifting toward deer hunting, and it gives everybody the fever.
Yeah, that it does, for sure. It's a perfect time of year to have the new TV shows roll out, so to speak, because, it's right when we've kind of lost our patience, and it kind of helps just squeak you by another 90 days.
That's exactly right. You get the 4th of July past you, and you're like, okay, I've had enough of this summer heat. I'm thinking about cool, crisp mornings, sitting up in a tree watching a big buck.
Absolutely. So I'm excited to talk to you, being that you're one of the, hence your name, Premier Outfitters in Kentucky. So, but real quick, Mark, tell me a little bit just about you and where you came from and kind of what, got you hunting and into deer hunting, and what led you to do this in Kentucky.
Okay. Well, I'm originally born and raised in South Carolina. Been a country boy all my life. I'm 55 years old. Started deer hunting at a very early age, and basically would hunt anything that had feathers or fur. Started hunting in the Midwest in the 90s, and came across some ground in Kentucky and started hunting up in that area, and western Kentucky to be exact, and had compared it to some of the other places I had hunted, like Kansas, Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, in those areas, and noticed that the quality of deer was sometimes even better than what I was seeing on some of those hunts. And did some research and found out that where I landed in Christian County, Kentucky, was the number one Boone and Crockett producing county in the state. And that's why I decided to lay my roots down in Christian County, Kentucky, and start Premier Outfitters.
Well, that's pretty cool. What do you think it is, kind of just touching on I'll call it a recent explosion in Kentucky and the deer, and maybe it's partially because of the internet and social media, but what do you say it is, Mark, that kind of has brought Kentucky to not being a under the radar state anymore? It's absolutely a whitetail destination now.
Well, years back when Kentucky adopted the 1 buck per year limit, that really helped things out, and the genetics in western Kentucky are just unbelievable. You've got where we're located, we're in the farm belt. It's corn and soybeans as far as you can see, and the residents that live there, they know they get to hunt 1 buck a year, and they get to see these bucks all through the summer when they're farming. So they plan to take one good deer, so that lets the rest of the deer mature. And what's really made it explode is, I may be a little to blame for that, but in the mid-2000s, people started harvesting some good deer, and we harvested a 200-inch deer in 2010, as a matter of fact, and that buck was on TV, was in North American whitetail, and the next thing you know, all these stories start coming out of Western Kentucky, and a lot of the TV personalities started contacting me and wanted to hunt with me. And next thing you know, on TV, all you see is a lot of hunting shows coming out of Kentucky. And it used to be everything you would see was Illinois, Pike County, Illinois. And Illinois has always been known for great deer. And don't get me wrong, they still have it, but they've had so much pressure and they've been hit with disease up there. And we've been very blessed. Kentucky is one of the states that has not had any chronic wasting disease. So we've been very lucky with that.
Yeah, you guys have. I mean, everything you just said kind of, put it right there in a nutshell for everybody. But yeah, you guys basically do just have a mixture of everything. And, it's just, that part of the state is beautiful and kind of underrated how beautiful and set up for deer it really is.
Well, it is a deer hunter's paradise, and I always say it's not even fair up there with a gun because you can see so many deer, but for a bow hunter, it is just a paradise with all the pinch points and funnels and little small pieces of woods between cornfields, soybean fields. We've got about, in our area, we've probably got about a 70-30 mix to a 60-40 mix of crop versus hardwoods. Some of our property is big timbered property that we've got food plots strategically placed in, and we've got some of the areas we've got some agriculture mixed in with the big timber. So we've just got the perfect ingredients for growing trophy deer. There's so much edge line there. When you have that edge effect, you've got cover for the deer to stay. You've got plenty of creeks. Kentucky is known as having more creeks than just about any state in the United States. So there's plenty of water for them to drink. The nutrition is there year round. If it's not corn, it's beans, it's alfalfa, it's canola, it's just winter wheat, and what we supplement them as well.
Now, Mark, and just being that you're the main guy, you're the guy that started this, runs it, what is it have you learned over the years that maybe only that you kind of favor? Is it an evening hunt over crops? Is it bottoms and pinch points? Like, what is the one favorite thing that you just kind of is a go-to?
Well, the first thing that I know is being the guy that runs this thing is a little off base from what you were asking me, is that I couldn't do any of this without the help that I've got. My guides, they are just unbelievable. They live and breathe whitetail hunting, and they've set everything up so well. And we've got a lot of stands. Currently, we've got about 600 stands on 20,000 acres, and the pinch points, the funnels, just about anywhere in our area. If you're in Christian County, if you've got a small tract of trees or a fence line or pinch point or funnel, you hang a stand, you're gonna see good deer.
So if you would, Mark, if you get let's just say a night off, Halloween to November 15th, what is, or a day off, what's your plan? What do you just kind of, you like to do yourself as far as, bow hunting goes?
Which time I would prefer?
I'm just saying, if we can magically make the perfect day for Mark to go hunting, what's your game plan for that day?
Well, let's see. Okay, let's hold on a minute. I want to make sure I understand that question. You're asking what week in the year I'd like to go, or what would I do?
No, I'm just saying, if it is the perfect day between Halloween and, or you tell me, whatever opening day, just your favorite day to go, and what are you doing? How about that?
Okay. All right. Well, my favorite time to sit in the tree is anywhere from the last week of October through right up to the gun season. I'm a bow hunter. That's what I love to do. I've gun hunted all my life and not opposed to it. We all love to gun hunt as well, but basically all I do now is bow hunt. But that last week of October, you can rattle, grunt, decoy the bucks in. You can still scrape hunt. Then you're going into the seeking phase, and that seeking phase is just a great time. So any time in late October through the first week or so of November, if I had a tolerance for hot weather, I don't like to hunt in the heat, but so many people like to go after a velvet buck, and Kentucky is one of the few states that offers a early season velvet hunt. That is just a heck of a time to be on stand, because as a hunter, you get to witness bachelor groups of sometimes as many as 10, 15 bucks in a bachelor group. So that's a heck of a hunt too. But to answer your question, I know I sort of drug that out a little bit, but I prefer the last week of October through around the 10th of November for bow hunting.
Now, let me just dive in a little deeper, Mark. What are you doing in the morning, and what are you doing in the evening? Is there, a certain spot you like to go to? Is it big timber? Is it a bottom, or is it, a secluded food plot?
Well, that time of year, there's really no rhyme or reason where these bucks are going to come from. I like to get in a travel corridor leading from, feeding area to feeding area. And that's where your bucks, they're going to be cruising those areas looking for your does. Your does are going to be bedded on the edge of a food source. That's my favorite thing to do. I love to hunt an edge line of a field, park myself right between a cut corn field and a bean field. There's just not a better place, in my opinion.
No, that's a great answer, and I'm with you 100%. That is exactly a picture perfect deer hunt for that time of year. So, Mark, let's backtrack just a little bit. Let's get into a little bit of talking to potential clients coming in. So what are we looking at? Recap for me. How many acres we got? How many stands we got? Tell me a little bit about the lodge, if you would, and season-wise, what's a non-resident looking at? When do we start, and what are we paying for this, non-resident tag?
Okay. Well, to start with, we've got 20,000 acres that we intensely manage 12 months out of the year. We're not a 2 or 3 months out of the year outfitter. We actually work 12 months out of the year. I have an operations manager that's been with me 8 years. I have a full-time farm manager, and I've got full-time guides. So it's not something where you decide you're going to go in August and start putting up stands and then put somebody in the stand and hope they kill a deer. You have to be on the job every day of the year. We start feeding in February. We start feeding our mineral protein supplements, and then we feed it every 2 weeks during the growing season. Something else we do in the wintertime, our season will go through mid-January. We stop hunting in November, but the season goes through January, and sometimes Western Kentucky can get some pretty bad weather, ice and snow, and we supplemental feed during that time because typically by then all the corn is gone out of the field. So it's not uncommon for us to feed several tons a year of corn during the winter to help these deer through if they need it. And our lodges, I've got 2 lodges. We've got very premium lodges. I have a lodge in the south end of Christian County, and then I've got a lodge in the north end of Christian County. Both of our lodges can accommodate up to 12 hunters, and we never have over 12 in a camp. Unlike some of the outfitters that I've heard stories of that people go to that they say there's 40 and 50 people in camp. We just don't do that. We make it a more of an intimate experience for you. When you get too many people there, it's almost like it's institutionalized. You don't have time to bond with some of the other hunters and to listen to your hunters. Your guides get to spend time with their hunters, and it just makes for a better camp experience.
Yeah, Mark, let me interject real quick. I just wanted to say, I am just pro hunting, and I am for, if you are do-it-yourself, if you hunt with an outfitter, I do both. I do self-guided. I've actually hunted with a few outfitters out of state, and I know the rumors and stories, so to speak, of 40, 50 guys in camp, and I'm with you. I would never do that. I would never want that. I actually, when I've been with an outfitter, I've enjoyed the time, like you said, the camaraderie, and just getting to learn something. And there's a lot of value in spending time with a guide or owner of an outfit. There's so much to learn there, and you can't do that when there's a whole football team of 50 guys at an outfit.
No,
can't do it.
No, you can't. And I had a gentleman that hunted with me last year that had hunted in another place in Kentucky, and he said, Mark, he said, opening morning, he said it looked like formation in an army base. There was so many people out there to get ready to go hunt. He said there was like 96 people there, hunters. And he said he never imagined anything like that. And you can't have a good time. You can't have a good experience when it's that many people. And that's what it's all about. It's not about killing. Sure, we all want to harvest a nice buck. And I, as an outfitter, I'm going to provide everything necessary for you to be able to have a great experience. Will you harvest a big deer? God only knows that, but we'll give you every opportunity toward that. But what it's about is the experience, the memories that you make, the family, the friends that you make, the coming back every year. I've got guys that have hunted with me for 9 years in a row now, and they're just like family, and we look forward to seeing them. But that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not agree more. Real quick, Mark, let's talk about seasons and what you guys offer. Do you guys start, early in the velvet season and then run all the way up to gun, or how's that work for everybody?
Well, let me tell you what we do. The season in Kentucky opens the first Saturday in September, and it runs all the way through mid-January. Now, unlike other outfitters, we only hunt specific days out of the year. We do one 4-day hunt the first 4 days of the bow season in September. Then we don't hunt again until mid-October. We'll do a hunt. And then we do a late October bow hunt, and then another bow hunt first week of November. And then we do 2 rifle hunts. Kentucky has a 15-day rifle season, which is a centerfire rifle, which is why Kentucky is so popular for that, because you don't have to use a muzzleloader or a slug gun. But out of those 15 days, we only hunt 8 of those days. So we don't overhunt any of our farms. We rotate the areas, and a lot of the outfitters in the area are booking people from the first Saturday in September, as many as they can get in through January. And we just don't do that. I don't have the need to do that. And I understand when outfitters do that. That's their plan. They're there to make as much money as they can. And if that's their plan, that's good for them. But we only hunt specific days, and the days that we choose are chosen by historical data that we've kept year after year. And we only want our hunters to be in camp during the best times.
That's interesting. So tell me a little bit about that. And when did you guys start the data plan for tracking, and what are some of the points of that data you're looking at?
Well, we opened Premier Outfitters for hunting. Our first clients was the fall of 2008. Since that time, I have kept meticulous records on stands, where we've got them, what people see. Every time one of my guides picks one of their hunters up, they ask them what they've seen, and they go into detail, and they write this down in their log book. That way, year after year, we know the dates of, the best movement. I've got guys that, matter of fact, I had a guy call me the other day that wanted to try to book a hunt mid-September. He said, I got a group of 6 people. We want to come hunt then. And I told him, I said, well, I don't offer a hunt in mid-September. And he said, well, why? He said, we're wanting to pay you. I said, well, because you're probably not going to see anything. He said, why would you say that? I said, well, here's how the deer work in western Kentucky. When they've got their velvet, they're very patternable. We know where these deer are. We can just about tell you within a 5-minute window of when these deer are going to come out on these fields in the afternoons. Once their testosterone level starts rising, they lose their velvet, then they go into seclusion. These bucks will break up out of these bachelor groups, and they'll change their feeding patterns overnight. And we just don't want anybody there when they're not going to see good deer, because it's not good for the customer that's paid his hard-earned money, and it's not good for PR for us.
No, that's awesome. I mean, that's kind of refreshing to hear. You hear a lot of, crazy talk of outfitters, and that's very humbling to hear you guys talk like that and actually, focus on just doing business the right way.
Well, we try to. I've learned a long time ago you can't please everybody, but we do our best to control everything that's within our power. We'll, you see giant bucks every time you come to Premier Outfitters. I can't tell you that. 80% of the people that have hunted with us, though, have seen good shooter deer. And Mother Nature plays a big role in that. Weather plays a big role in it. Hunting pressure. That's why we rotate our areas that we hunt, and that's why we have so much property. And basically, I'm land poor. I've got more property than we can hunt, but that's what you have to be able to, every group of people come in that they're going to see a good deer. You have to have the property, and you can't overhunt it.
Now, just for those pieces of land out there, Mark, that are lonely and you need somebody, I will volunteer. If you just say the word, I'll make the trip down there. It's not a big deal.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I just had to throw it out there. So
yeah, I was waiting for
that. No, that's good to hear. I mean, that's as you put it, that's when I think about owning land or managing farms that I lease. I mean, those are all things I think about, and those are things I think about because I want to manage upper end deer. So if people are listening, which they are, I mean, kudos, because I mean that's exactly what you want when you're looking for an outfitter. That's great stuff.
Well, and another thing you have to do is you have to look for an outfitter that has a lot of property. You cannot run an outfitting business on 3,000 to 4,000 acres. It's just you can do it, but you can't offer a quality service. You have to look for an outfitter that has a relationship with a local biologist that can tell them what the deer ratio is, what you should be harvesting, how many bucks you can harvest per 100 acres and not shoot out your upper end deer. And we adhere to that very strictly. Christian County has a very high deer population, and our biologist says that we can harvest one mature buck per 100 acres and not shoot out our upper end deer. So you can do the math. That means we could harvest 200 bucks a year. And we don't do a fraction of that because we only take a fraction of that amount of hunters. So it works out good for us. We're blessed with great genetics and a great area to hunt, and a lot of that is attributed to the farmers that we have a relationship with. They have pristine farms. They keep it up, and our deer are just offered everything they need to grow to Boone and Crockett proportions.
Now, Mark, when you're looking at this next year in 2016, what do you guys do as far as scouting? Are you guys doing a lot of trail cameras? Are you doing spot scope, from vehicles to the bean fields? Are you doing any of that now, or can you just basically cross-reference your data from over the years?
Well, the simplest thing I think would be to do is to cross-reference the data, but that's not the way to keep current on, what the deer activity is doing. Do these deer do typically year after year the same thing? Yes, they do, but we're hunting new areas every year. We're always adjusting stands. We start running our trail cameras the 1st of July. Then we'll go in, we keep the cameras out for about 3 weeks, and we'll check cameras. And once we get a picture of several good bucks in an area, we take the camera out and we leave that area alone. Especially if we're going to hunt it the first week of September, we'll adjust the stand if we need be. We go in and load the place up with our multivitamin mineral supplement, and we just back out of there. And we do a lot of long range scouting. Matter of fact, one of my guides has been, several of them, but one of them has been filming here lately the last couple of days of some real good shooter bucks, and he does that from anywhere from 500 to 600, 700 yards away. So that's something that's done nightly now.
No, that's really good because, you and I both know, you have to have something in place to figure out, which is, just fun anyways, but figure out who's around or what new bucks are here, or, did so-and-so, Captain Hook, did he make it another year? It's good to have that, and it's good to know, and kind of neat to have those relationships with these deer that somehow keep evading all of us. That's why we do it, partially, because it's so dang hard.
Yes, it's a cat and mouse game with them. That's what makes it fun. And when you can, for my guides, it's just very rewarding. They're all hunters at heart, and they've all harvested a big number of deer in their lifetimes of hunting, and now they've decided to hunt through somebody else's eyes and their experience. And when they hang a stand and scout a deer out, and they put a hunter in an area, naturally the hunter is doing it. He's harvesting the deer, but it's just a great feeling of satisfaction to know that you've set that hunter in an area where you've scouted a deer out. And it's just a good feeling.
I'm sure it's a big sense of accomplishment for sure. Before we kind of get going here, Mark, a couple extra questions. I'm just curious, what do you expect out of your guides, and what do you expect out of your hunters for the season? Being the man wearing multiple hats.
Well, first of all, what I expect out of my guides are true guides. They're not taxi drivers. I've hunted all over the Midwest for 25 years. I went on guided hunts, and so many of the guides were just basically that, a taxi driver. They get up in the morning and they go put you in a place, drop you off, tell you to go there, and go back to the house and go to sleep. My guides don't do that. They are required to, when they put you in a stand, to go somewhere on that farm and climb in one of our stands with a video camera and videotape what they see. That way, if a guide has 3 people that he's guiding, and one of the guys comes back in the evening and says, hey, it's just not working for me in this spot, then a true guide can say, well, this is what I've seen here. Look at this. Here's where I'm going to take you now. So that's what I expect out of my guides. I also expect for them to be courteous and to be a professional guide, to have my clients' best interests at heart, to work hard for them, to put forth a 200% effort to make a great experience for my clients, because deer hunting nowadays is a very expensive sport, and it's a shame it's gotten to this point. But I don't think a lot of people understand the expense and that goes into running a quality operation when you have 20,000 acres, for instance, or 10,000 acres. All the land leases have just gone out of sight, and it's making everything so high. So when somebody pays me their hard-earned money, we want you to harvest a great animal. We want you to have a great experience, because that's what it's all about. It's a hunting vacation. So people look forward to it. It's a lot of people, sometimes it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and some people come back every year and they travel. But, for everybody, we want you to have a great time, and that's what I expect out of my guys, to provide that for you. Now, when you...
Yeah, that's... Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
When you're talking about a hunter, what I expect out of them, I would like for them to know all the time, blood, sweat, tear, effort that everyone has put forth for them to have a great experience. So what we would like for them to do is, when they come in with an open mind and know that you're not here to kill an animal, you're here to have a great experience, to know that you're hunting on a piece of property that is known for big deer, is highly managed. You're not paying us to kill a deer. You're paying us to guide you, to share knowledge with you, to put you in an area that we know trophy deer are in. We would like for our hunters to hunt when they come with us. So, I understand it's your vacation and you want to do what you want to do, but, you'd be surprised at the people that will come in. They want to go out in the morning and hunt for 2 hours, come back, and then go hunt for 2 hours in the afternoon. And, we do have some people that are lucky that, that get it done like that. But, most of the time it's the people that come up for 5 days, and they put their time in the stand. They've trusted their guide. They've listened to them, and they're there to hunt. And, you put some seat time in the stand, you're going to have a better opportunity to harvest a good animal. And that's what we expect out of our hunters, is to trust what we're telling them, trust your guides, and know we've got your best interests at heart, and hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very well put. And nothing wrong with that. That's what should happen. And that's what guys that show up should be prepared to do always. I mean, that's what I'm prepared to do, so that's just the way I look at it. But before we go, Mark, real quick, just ease everybody's mind that don't know how easy the system is just to get your tag in Kentucky, and just let everybody know where they can reach out and find you if they'd like to book a hunt with you.
Yeah, Kentucky is a breeze. It's over the counter. You can go on their website, Kentucky DNR. Purchase for an out-of-state person, you have to purchase the annual non-resident hunting license and the non-resident deer permit. It's $260 over the counter. We recommend that you purchase it online. That way, when you get in camp, you don't have to leave camp and go to Walmart and stand in line. What was your next question? Oh, how to get in touch with me. Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. We're easy to get in touch with. You can dial me direct at area code 864-938-8699. Call me, text me. Visit our website, please. We have a very comprehensive website. There's a lot of good footage on there, a lot of good information about our management plan, explanation of every hunt, what to expect on our hunt. Shows you a bio of all of our team members, our guides, and our website is simple. It's premieroutfitters.com. Follow us on Facebook. Just click, type in Premier Outfitters, and you're going to find our Facebook page. And we're updating trail cam pictures now on Facebook. Every day we're posting, some little short clips of scouting, videos, stand placement, just what we're doing throughout the year. You can see that on Facebook, and go to our website and you can look at our trail cam pictures. We're starting to download some of our trail cam pictures now.
Absolutely, that's perfect. And just so you know, Mark, I will pass that along in the show notes for everybody to get to the website and your phone number as well. And I'll link up with you guys on Facebook as well for the show so people can reach out and like your page as well. But, Mark, just want to say thanks for your time today, and hopefully we can definitely do this again.
Hey, great. Can I share one special that we've got going on right now?
Oh, absolutely. It's your time to shine, man. Do it.
Okay, yeah. We're offering a special. We had a corporate group that had to cancel on us this year for our October 28th through November 1st hunt. Typically, we require a 50% deposit when you book your hunt, and the balance to be paid by August 1st. But what we did with this group, since there was 8 of them, we only required $1,000 a piece up front, so it left a balance of $2,750. Well, with them canceling the hunt, I had 8 spots that were open that someone could book that hunt for $2,750. It's a 5-day all-inclusive hunt. It's the perfect time of the year. Out of those 8 spots, I now have 4 left. So if somebody wants to book a great hunt for a, basically unheard of price to be able to hunt with us, that's the hunt to come on. And we've got a couple of gun spots left on our gun hunts and a couple of rut archery November 5th through 9th hunt. So give us a call. We'll see if we can put a great hunt together for you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Everybody appreciates that, I'm sure, and you won't beat that price. That's a great price for a premier spot in the country for big bucks, man. So don't pass up a deal like that. So, Mark, thanks again, and thanks for sharing that with us. And like I said, boys and girls, you know that I'll put that in the show notes. And we're live every Tuesday on iTunes, podbros.com, Outdoor Podcast channel. And thanks again, Mark. We'll talk soon.
Okay, man.